Senate at that time were matured legislators who feel that getting that amount of money in dollars for procurement of one for the president of Nigeria is a luxury. So they vehemently refused to do that, which was the right in the right direction.
500 billion naira at the time was almost Nigeria's budget.
Exactly.
2003.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's a right decision in the right direction. I concur with them, and I think that's a very good one.
I can still recall our own senator, the late Idris Ibrahim Kuta, was at the forefront of the senators who vehemently rejected that request.
Exactly.
And I think that decision was done in the best interest of the nation.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay.
Those are things we want to see from our legislators, so that the divisions in governance can classically be seen to be what it should be, not rubber stamp or stooge in standing in as a representative of the people, whereas you are anti the people that voted into power.
And now, about 20 years since the purchase of the last presidential plane, the planes are now being grounded gradually. Kashim Shettima, the vice president, have been making his trips using commercial flights. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu went to faraway Netherlands, and the presidential plane developed an engine problem, and he has to continue on commercial flight. 20 years down the road, is it RIP for the presidency to have a new fleet of flights?
I think necessity is the mother of invention. It's ripe enough for them to have.
About 20 years since
yes,
the purchase of the
ripe
plane.
enough for them to replace it, because the plane has to do with life. Imagine that flight in which the president was traveling to Netherlands crashed. What happens? As a result of the mechanical problem it developed, we lose the president and the nation will be in mourning. God forbid. It is very, very important that we have two of these classified or classical planes that are affordable, easily maintainable, and they are good on air with the right manpower to fly it. I think we are good to go to get two of it as a nation.
Now let's begin.
And the largest in Africa.
Let's begin to look at even the model. 737. It was Boeing.
Yeah.
The world has gone beyond the 737. We're talking about, is it 787? I think that is the latest model now or thereabout.
Yeah.
787. Now, if our own president is still using 737, it means that we are still very far behind.
That's true.
It's just akin to say that our own president is using obsolete plane or a certain vehicle of 2003 model, for example.
Exactly.
When we're in 2024.
Exactly.
Okay. This particular presidential fleet, I think they said there are about 6 planes, and some few weeks ago, the president himself had requested that 3 of those planes
should be disposed
of and be sold off.
That information is public domain.
At the time, there was a backlash on why they should be sold off, and he said the presidency cannot afford to maintain them because the cost of maintenance is on the increase, and the maintenance itself is becoming more frequent.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, are you intending with his?
It's a very good submission. It's a very good submission because, first of all, we are a committee of international community, a member of the international community, and must be seen to exercise the same pride as a nation to compete effectively in terms of resources, to show the world that we are there. And for God be the glory, we have what it takes to do that. So we are ripe enough to dispose those obsolete planes so that the manufacturer can have the scrap to use or whatever you want to use it for, while we put heads together and put resources to get the most latest one that can guarantee the movement of the president, because dropping on presidential plane to a commercial plane is dangerous. Because if it's not scared, we can be trapped and be killed. Who do you hold responsible? All the officers, all the intelligent officers, all the army officers, they are in trouble. Because it's not expected to go into commercial plane, but circumstances are compelling him to do that. So in order to not to repeat this type of hazardous movement, there's a need to replace new one.
Using commercial flight also makes intelligence gathering more difficult.
That is true.
Because of the number of passengers that are also in that particular
and you don't know their minds.
You don't know their minds, yes, of course.
Okay, that is the risk.
Okay. If you look at the current situation now, that we are talking about getting a new fleet, you have just talked about getting some of the latest or near latest. To what extent do you think this will add value to the image of Nigeria? Because they said the way you dress is the manner in which you will be addressed.
It's the way you watch yourself in the mirror, you see yourself.
Do you think that if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is to go into international gatherings, coming with some of the latest plans, that will add value to his image and the image of Nigeria?
Of course it is. It is, because they rate you by what you wear, they rate you by how you look, they rate you by how nutritional value you add in your body. Those are issues that cannot be contested anywhere in the world. So it is important we continue to maintain our lead among the committees of nations, since God has blessed us with the resources. And it's just one or two. We're not saying much. The money they've stolen from the cover of the state is even higher than what we're talking about in terms of procurement.
Exactly.
So we should get it and get going. We should get it and get going. There's nothing bad about that. We should get the new ones and get going. It's good for the image of the country and for the image of Mr. President too.
Maybe to be more economical, those three that he has penciled down for sale, the money realized from their sales could also be used, and then maybe little could be augmented to at least procure one or two.
I just want to appeal to National Assembly. All money that has been recovered, including assets from the Economic and Financial Commission crime, they should get this money together. All those assets that have been recovered and sold, all this money should be mopped together and used in making procurement, not even touching the budget, since it was not provided for in the budget.
Exactly.
Those money should be put together to get what we want and get going.
And now how urgent? Because the president can't afford to sit at home because he has no flight to move.
Well, that is the responsibility of those saddled with the protection, safety, and the movement of Mr. President. So they know what to do. They are professionals in that field, and they know what to do. Even if to go and borrow to get it going, they will do it.
Because as a president now, he can even move out of the country again by next week.
Yes, of course. Yes, that is why the vice president is moving today to attend one of the international functions that the president is supposed to go.
And he's also
on a commercial flight.
He's going on a commercial flight.
I just heard it on the news this morning.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all good enough. Those arrangements are not good for us. And they are not good for our image as nation, as people. So we must do the right thing at the right time.
So it will not be out of place if the president submits his request to the National Assembly.
Of course, it is an obligation, it is a right, it is his privilege. It is the right of the nation to make sure that our green, white, green is flying in very good color and in very safety movement, in very safety times. So he should apply and they should give him the approval.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Abdullah Mohammed Jabi. You can join us on this discussion through the number 09038808883. You can equally visit our Facebook page on Prestige FM Mina to send in your text message. Your contribution this morning will add a lot of dimension to our discussion. We have the first caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, President Allah. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. I see the name Prince Elijah of the Hadi photo. You see, when we are talking about the presidential jet, even right from source, if not corruption, Nigeria is still going to buy new presidential jet, not to go and buy even second hand. What are we talking about? If we could be paid for Christ, it will be a slap to this nation, a giant of Africa. What are we talking about? Of course, it is right now, they should wake up for their son, not to return that jet to Nigeria. Nigeria have the resources to buy the new one. They should wait for us to provide way to get the new jet. So it will be very good for us now. Our present life and the vice president life will be safe. We can't have the money. Thank you, and that's my thought, because other people will contribute.
Okay, thank you so much, Abdulhadi Photos, for your contribution. He is also concurring with you that Nigeria has the money to purchase one, even though it is not provided in the budget. But again, how can, for example, the National Assembly speed up the procurement of one?
It's a necessity. They have no option too. This has to do with the image of the nation. And they know that the life of the president matters to all of us here. It's not a personal jet that is procuring. If it is personal, he has the one he can use. Don't forget that Mr. President too has a personal jet. But that's not for official usage. Exactly. So they should give him accelerated approval and discuss with the company concerned to ensure that the new one they are going to procure is the latest one with all the safety measures, and then get it down to the country for Mr. President movement. Are you getting it for official assignment? Very, very critical. Unlike the one Sirika want to do, the 419 plane they painted in Egypt, Ethiopia.
8.7 billion.
Yes, to come and tell us that that is the Nigeria new career that will be entry. Unfortunately, he didn't know that the painting was not concluded.
Exactly.
Because at the end tail of the plane, that is where the evil exactly
there. Okay, we have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yeah, speaking with Jema Kumusa from Boss LOZ.
Okay, go ahead.
With the other alliances the doctor has said, I'm in full support. This is my first time hearing Dr. Jabi supporting the government or doing something. So for that, I, Jema Kumusa, in support of what Jabi said. That's the truth about it. So if an head of state of a country cannot have a jet for its own use, I think there's nothing but it's a wrong idea. So I prefer and I wish the National Assembly will have their own sort of blogging so that they can allow him to have his own jet. So I welcome you, Dr. Dabi. You're welcome.
Thank you, my brother Musa Jamaku.
Thank you so much for your contribution. You know, in the history of Nigeria, and indeed the world, hardly you hear a presidential plane crashing. Although it has happened domestically in some countries,
Yes.
but those were in the 70s and early 1980s. But in recent times, I have not heard of one.
No, for now. No.
Yes, I can still recall, for example, in Bangladesh, the then military president, General Zia-ul-Haq, died from a helicopter crash.
Exactly.
And then we also had the Burundian president, I've forgotten his name now, a very lengthy traditional name, also crashed from a presidential plane. And then some few other examples of presidents who actually lost their lives in air mission. Yes, apart from that, not in recent times, at least in the last 20 or so years,
exactly.
I've not heard of one. So I think precautionary measures are very important. All measures, if taken care of, then we can resign to fate if anything happens, because we believe that everything within the intellect of humanity has been done. And if anything happened, then we say, oh yes, that may have been the fallibility of human intellect.
Exactly.
But again, now that these issues are coming up, to what extent do you think, or how many of these planes are required for now, since even the vice president is in dire need of an official plane?
At least as a country, looking at our size and our economic position, it will not be out of place if we can procure 3 to 4 because of the circumstances we find ourselves. 3 to 4 of these presidential flights is very, very important. Now,
I can still recall the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, even the official motorcade of the presidency, he never changed them. He simply inherited the ones used by Jonathan all through his tenure as a president. Could it be the fact that even though he was trying to be more prudent and does not want wastages, but that also is now telling on the current situation?
Of course.
Because when he came, I think there was this proposal to even change the planes and change his...
He said no. He said no. Now, what is wrong with the one on the ground?
The ones on the ground are okay, and he can use them. So he used them for 8 years.
Yes. Well, Mr. President then is not the type that has passion or this appeal for external traveling like that. He's not the one that will have that type of passion for external traveling.
But he has made his own portion of external travel.
It is a good one.
Don't forget that he was in China, he was in the United States of America.
Yes.
He has moved to nearly every angle of the globe.
They are numbered. And for what he is as a person, by his integrity and ethics, that is former president for you. Are you getting it now? But the office of Mr. President is such a choice office that everything that has to do with it must be on ground. There is no gainsaying that you have to manage what your predecessors, particularly if the years of usage have expired the limits. There is a need to change it for everybody's safety and comfortability and for the image of the nation.
Now you can imagine 737 when we are now using 787.
You can see the gap, and you can see the distortion in the model. And then, I mean, a lot of things are changing up there. So we must be seen to comply with innovation, with creativity, with latest, so that we are counted among those that are really on the ground in terms of a country, in terms of people, in terms of a nation, in terms of our presidency kitty. It's very, very important.
It's just like akin to someone using Toyota Cricket now. When we are already using
it's laughable. It's laughable.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, we have another caller. Hello, good morning.
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 Amanyasa on the line.
Okay, Mama Yasser, go ahead.
Okay. And to me, instead of gathering the aeroplane, gong without without using it for condemn aeroplane, disgracing somebody on the way. Instead of that, they should just gather it, something all and sell it so that they can buy the new one. That is the best thing, because it's a disgrace. The whole president journey is stopping on the way because of the aeroplane is no good. Please, they should just sell it all and then find the
at least find good ones.
The modern one to be used. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think there are about 6 or so planes on the presidential wing if you go to that airport.
That's true.
And those planes are being used by the president interchangeably.
Exactly.
Now, she is of the view that why don't the whole of those planes be sold and then buy good ones?
It's an option. It's an option. If you are talking of looking for resources to make procurement because of the value and exchange rate, I've told you one assets, one source of getting the money without pains. That all this recovery, both in cash and assets, mop it together and make it available for procurement. We have a lot of money that is seized from thieves in public service. Are you getting me now? With associations too, put these obsolete plane together for Ngongo to go and disorganize the parts and then get it replaced with whatever they want to use it for, and put the money together. We can make procurement of 3 to 4.
Or they can
without pains.
They can be sold to commercial to domestic flight.
It is
owners.
if you don't want president to die, the people that will mount the domestic route of that plane are human beings and Nigeria, a member of international community. So not because they are not president, they should go and die.
Since the trips are not long ones, probably they should be able to.
They should sell it to the manufacturer. They know what to do with it. Then whatever it is, the differences. You get it now. They give the balance and then get the new one
in form of auction.
Exactly. That
Okay.
is what to do.
Okay, thank you so much. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Dr. Ankala.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dr. Abdullah Jabi.
Morning, sir.
Good to have you in the studio once again.
It's a pleasure having you.
This is Ibrahim Adam Musule calling from Okada Road.
Okay, Ibrahim, go ahead.
I think I've been listening to you because I'm just joining not quite long, and I'm quite interested in the issue of presidential flight, I think.
Yeah.
But you see, what happened? What my question is that what happened to the provisional, this thing, the budgetary provisional, this thing, in the budget, as in the presidential flight and the yacht they've been talking about the other time. So I don't think, what are they bringing to the floor? Something that they already have budget on it and other these things. So I don't think it is a topic for these things. So that
Ibrahim Musule, since you are joining us, what we are actually discussing is the president had his plane developing fault in faraway Netherlands, and he has to continue his journey using commercial flight, which is not good for the image of a president. What we are saying is that what option has the president now, since the flights are now beginning to develop fault? They've gone through turnaround maintenance about 7 times in 2 years. And that is...
But the engineers are on ground for them to know what is happening. Because the function you carry out every day in order to keep any engineering equipment in good operating condition. So I think the engineers should know that these are now becoming weaker and another distance. They should be able to know that this is the range where this flight comes from. So I think the engineers and the maintenance group should also be held responsible for them, for their failure not to be able to alert Mr. President or people in charge that this plane cannot fly from so this thing to so this thing.
Okay, thank you so much, Ryan Musili. I think since he's joining us
late,
yes, he's a bit yes, not grasping it very well. And now that he is talking about engineers, every plane has its number of hours to fly.
Exactly.
Can we say that the presidential planes on ground may have exhausted their flying hours?
Of course, not necessarily, but I will look at the years they've served. Are you getting me now? And I will look at the days they were hung without being used. I mean, a lot of things could have developed in the process that may not clearly be known. So, and my conviction here is that perhaps it may have overused its usefulness. That is the truth, because no country of the world use one plane for 20 years or above for presidential fleets. It's not done.
Even the United States?
At all. The highest they do is 5-6 years. 5-6, it's not like you getting a very new vehicle, chair leather, and you have to be traveling from Lagos to Maduguri, and you do that for 5 years. My brother. But I did it for 5 years. You know that any subsequent year you are going to be running problem between Lagos, Ibadan, Mokwa, Minna. Then continuously.
Even our senators, I don't think any of the senators has used one vehicle for the past 5 years. Or
you
6.
can see it. They know the implication.
When they use them for 3-4 years,
it has to go.
It has to go, and then they change and get another.
Of course, because it is possible that the AC is no longer working. It is possible that the tire is weak. It is possible that the engine is dripping oil.
Exactly.
A lot of issues are there.
Okay, thank you so much. We have some messages here from Sani Baban Sani. He's saying, Assalamu alaikum, good morning to you all in the studio. FM Prestige Radio, I wish you the best. May Allah continue to bless you. Thank you so much. And Umar Nazmi is saying, yes, it is good for the image of the country to purchase a brand new private jet for Mr. President, yet the masses are left to import Tokumbo vehicles, clothes, and spoons, phones, and so many other things. It seems the rich and opportune are the citizens, and the poor Nigerians are the masses. It is not about talking about class this time around. It is talking about functionality. Even if it is you that is a president there, just imagine you as the president of Nigeria. Will you have loved to continue using that plane? I think for one to make a best judgment here is to try to situate yourself on the seat of Mr. President. If you are there as a president, what will have been your decision if the plane you are traveling in develop faults like this?
You are even going very fast. This is using road transport, and we're discussing air transport. If he's appointed the emir or Oba or the Obi of his community first class, will he inherited what his predecessors that died use, or is going for procurement of new one? That is the question you should ask him. So it is the office now, not individual.
Exactly.
So you should know that it is the image and the office of Mr. President, what it portends and what it carries. Not only within the Nigerian community, but even within the international community. So it is a privilege and a right for that office, not him as the occupant president of the office.
Don't forget, even Tinubu himself may have used Tokumbo items in the past.
Of course.
So it's a stage in life.
No, you should not even remember, you should not forget so soon that the lifestyle of Mr. President too was very rough.
Exactly.
For those who know him and his parents, the lifestyle was very rough. He started from a very terrible beginning where he's from a very poor family and struggle life out.
Exactly.
To go from grass to grace.
Exactly. Okay, we have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. My name is Kachalla Adam. I'm calling you from West.
Okay, you're welcome, sir.
Buying a flight to be a president is a very important issue. It is timely because there is a difference between need and want. Buying flight to the president is a need now and is vice president. So it is a peg, that is a square peg in a square hole. So our president is very important. We don't want to lose this. Thank you very much. My name is Kachala.
Okay, thank you so much, Kachala. What he's saying that there's a difference between want and need. And what we are going through now is the president need a new plane.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's a square peg in a round hole. So there definitely is something that is needed.
Yes, and must be done urgently. Yeah,
because he cannot stop traveling simply because he has no means of traveling.
It's not even good for our image. Very important. I don't know whether you want to talk about image of a nation.
You can imagine the United Nations General Assembly is to take place and then the president is not going on the ostensible reason that he has no official plane to travel.
It's not justifiable. It's not.
So, okay, thank you so much. We continue to pick your calls. We have another caller here. Hello, good morning.
Dr. Tantana, good morning.
Morning.
My name is Ambassador JB the Challenger. I'm calling you from General Hospital.
Thank you so much. And 09038808883. Hello, good morning.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
My name is Comrade Alladi Abdul Mutallab Habib, and I'm calling from Barak in Saleh.
Okay, go ahead, General.
Dr. Dantala.
Yes.
I'm Yayan Lami.
Oh,
please, how is life with you?
Thank you. Life is okay. Thank you so much.
Please, permit me to use this medium to exchange phone number with you. Apology, please.
Okay, no problem. It has been a very long time, and
yes. In case if you are with your pen and paper, please let me tell you mine. Then we'll talk later.
Okay, no problem.
080.
Okay.
36. 77. 0443.
0443. Okay.
Yes. I have been listening to all the conversations today, and all have been said. Observations have been questioning each other. I felt yes, it is high time for if the ones on the ground are obsolete. It's high time they sell them off and buy new ones. It's okay.
Exactly.
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, that is with you. Okay, thank you so much for your contribution. He's an old friend.
Okay.
We grew up in the same quarters. And we had our formative years together.
Oh my God.
Pre-primary school to primary school. And then we parted ways after secondary education.
That's long time.
And I'm just hearing from him today.
Allah Akbar.
A whole 35 years.
Oh, that's a very far distance, yes.
So for 35 years, we've missed each other until today.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much. Yalami, of course, that is the name of his younger sister.
Okay.
And he became popular with the name.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your contribution. We have another caller here. Hello, good morning.
Dr. Dankada, why you didn't call my Gebu Challenger, please?
Gebu wanted Gebu wanted an undue sympathy, and this is not the place to do so. Thank you so much. We have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Doctor.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Dr. Javi, expert Javi.
Morning, sir.
My name is Umar Manta.
Okay, Umar Manta, go ahead.
Yes, my opinion, I didn't see anything wrong for a good country like Nigeria and have the good people over the world. Our president visited some country, and then the plane of our president have fault. And I don't see anything wrong if he do how he can come back home or go where he's going. So we have money in our country that this is not supposed to happen at all. Because look at our members of House of Assembly and Senators. They have already changed their car. Most of them have changed their car with Bluetooth. So our president needs to be secure because he's the number one person in our country. So I don't see anything wrong with that. God bless Nigeria.
Amen. Thank you so much, Umar Manta. Dr. Jabi, if you recall, when the former president Muhammadu Buhari was there, when the erstwhile strong leader in the Gambia, Yahya Jammeh, refused to concede elections after the general election when he was followed by Adam Barrow. You know, it was President Muhammadu Buhari that plays a yeoman's job to mediate, to persuade Yahya Jammeh to leave the country.
Exactly.
He was making the trip using presidential jet. He will move pick the Senegalese president, and then move to pick one other president, and then they go to Gambia. Meet with Yahya Jammeh, meet with Adam Barrow, and then he will also use his presidential plan from the Gambia to drop the Senegalese president, drop that other president, and then come back to Nigeria. And then he has done that trips about 4 times. Sometimes he will move in the wee hours of the night, go to Senegal, pick Macky Sall at the time, and then go to that other country, pick that other president, and then they move into the Gambia. Because the Nigerian president then had an official plan that was healthy, that was capable of making those trips.
Exactly.
Now, can we beat our chest to say that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu can do same if the situation warrants? You know, Nigeria is a big brother in West Africa.
Of course, yes. Of course, yes.
So such kind of Herculean task that we are taking of big brotherliness by Nigeria may not happen now, if at all this current presidential plans are anything to go by.
It may even be caught in the crossfire. If the plane will develop problem and they have to stop to look for commercial vehicle to continue, it's dangerous.
Exactly.
Because people who may see them may not even know those are the caliber of people in that plane.
Exactly.
So it is the right thing in the right direction to ensure that those planes, obsoletely as they were, are replaced for the good of the image and the office of Mr. President. There is no hard fact about this.
But not the luxurious ones in the mold of the former Sultan of Brunei ones that was...
No, that one was a class show. It was a class show and show of wealth.
Exactly.
Just like you see the Saudi Arabia president. The plane will fly will be different from others.
Exactly.
Yes, now.
So there's what we can afford and there's what we cannot afford.
Exactly.
I think we need to tell each other
the truth. Based on our realities, economic realities and social status.
Okay, let's continue to pick calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Yeah. My name is Abdullah Dako.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
What I'm trying to say here, firstly, before I say anything, I just want to ask, what happens to the presidential flight that Buhari was using before?
No, it's late. It's a lot.
They are the ones that the president inherited, and they are the ones he's using, which broke down somewhere in Netherlands. And the last time they were bought, I think it was about 20 years ago. When Buhari came, he refused to change them and use them all through his 8 years.
And he was successfully using it?
And he was successfully using them, of course.
And then, why should they return the plane in the Northern land?
No, they didn't return them. The president was on a trip. And then the plane developed fault. And he has to continue his journey using commercial flight.
You see, that is not the time for buying plate now. What the condition of Nigeria presently. The president is not supposed to be going out like that. He will go on request like the way he wants to attend UN. He has his Minister of External Affairs which can do that. Secondly, you see, the problem Nigeria is facing now, our president don't supposed to be going out. Let us stay and solve the problem. When people have smile on their face, then you can go out. But by now, taking our money to buy a plane, do you know how much a plane will cost? Eh? When we are here suffering, we are feeling hungry, then they are talking about buying plane. The president should sit down in Aso Rock and solve our problem. Let his Minister of External Affairs do that. You know,
Oh, Tom, you had one that left on your own. I didn't cut you off. Exactly. Well, but I think this could be one of the narrow-minded views.
Not so. He is in pains. He can appreciate where he's coming from. But he's not getting the message. He's taking his personal circumstances as it were today and his condition of living. That it is not good for Mr. President to travel to anywhere. But he has forgotten that we are not in isolation. As a isolation. He didn't understand that. All he understands is that he cannot feel well, he can't go to hospital well, the roads are not good, the salary are not improved, so why must Mr. President go out? That is his own myopic way of looking at it. Mr. President is not in isolation. There are state functions that nobody can represent the country except the number one citizen.
Exactly.
You should know that. And if he's going, he's not going on commercial flights because of the safety and security.
Exactly.
I get him in. So explain to him.
Okay, let's pick another call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
My name is Suleiman.
Okay, Suleiman, go ahead.
I'm calling you from Nigeria.
Okay, sir.
You see, Mr. President, he has a right to get a new plane. The last caller that he called said that we know actually we are feeling hungry. We have an issue of economic in our country. it's necessary to us, Mr. President, to have an agent. Because anything that happened to you now, it happened the whole country of Nigeria.
That's a
now
good
it's very
thinking.
shameful thing to us. To say that our president went to another country, the plane has making effort. It's not good. That's why I'll raise my stake.
Honestly, thank you so much for your contribution. And Abubakar Sadiq, Internet Kijipta, is saying good morning and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much. We have another caller. Hello, good morning. Okay, we've missed this
Let's
one.
Gabriel call back. It was a network, please. Let him come back. Yes, so I should not feel bad.
No, it's not network. I yanked him off. Yes, I yanked him off because the issue he wanted to raise is not what we are discussing. So if at all he wants anything, let him come and meet me one-on-one and then we discuss that. If it's worth coming on air, we'll put it on air. But you don't take advantage of either me or the station to project your own needs. Anyway, let's pick one more call and then we'll wrap up the program. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. My name is Usman Mohammed.
Okay, Malam Usman, go ahead, sir.
I've listened to the conversation, very interesting.
Thank you,
like
sir.
Somebody observed that for the first time Dr. Jabi has jumped the ship. Maybe he has committed class suicide. And is agreeing with the discussion. I want to support that view. You see, we should be concerned about the optics. Nigeria is a debtor nation. We are not beggarly, but we are a debtor nation. Who do we want to impress? The Prime Minister of UK does not go with any British, he goes with British Airlines anywhere he goes in the world. My only support for the discussion is that we don't have a national carrier. If we had a national carrier, there's nothing wrong with the president. There are many presidents that use the carriers of their nation to attend international conferences. And I think the president should travel less. That is the work of the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Good morning, please.
Okay.
Okay, perhaps I need to make some corrections here.